Well, it's my real pleasure to introduce an old friend and, of course, someone that's very well known in the UK and beyond, Sir Tim Smit. He's the co-founder of the Eden Project. It's an award-winning place in the south of England in Cornwall. Since 2001, 22 million people have visited, yet just only one of Tim's many creations. So, Sir Tim, or may I call you Tim this evening, welcome.
Hello. If you don't call me Tim, I'll be really offended. It makes me feel like a naughty boy if you do the other thing.
You are a naughty boy.
I do apologise that I can't stay for the whole evening because we've actually got something that we're doing tomorrow with the old political leaders. But I wanted to say something which I think is important. One of the problems we have is that we allow other people to set the agenda of how we're dealing with climate. We actually have to understand that we've got to harness the urgency of war to a time of peace. When we hear about a few million people dying, this isn't millions of people dying. If we get it wrong, it's billions of people dying. And one of the reasons billions will die will be because of the corporate negligence of our leadership, who've lost their fear of being disliked. Therefore, they don't take leadership decisions. They don't listen to science. Anybody who listens to science would never have allowed President Obama, let alone Trump, to get up and say that carbon capture and storage was actually a credible mechanism for saving the planet. But that is the human way. Let's be cowardly and pretend there's some kind of technology that comes away. Middle-aged men love it, and then we buy into it. It's exactly like saying to a chain smoker, don't bother to stop smoking. There's a pill coming along that will cure your cancer. That's exactly what is happening. So the big oil companies, the big fossil fuel companies, in all their respects, are trying to make everybody feel calm, being stroked like pussycats, so that we all continue the way we've been going. It is actually quite easy. In Roman days, the carbon in the soil was double, literally double what it is today, changing the way we farm, the way we eat stuff from those farms, the increase in biodiversity and biomass, because biodiversity is the twin of all of this. Climate change, you've already said this earlier, but the loss of biodiversity is like the most massive game of Jenga. We just don't know when the species that we take out is going to bring system collapse. The issue we really need to address is to recognize something very simple. There is not hardly a person in the world, if you say do you think we should have clean water, that would disagree. There's hardly anybody in the world would say, do you think there should be clean air, that would disagree. There's hardly anybody would disagree if you said we should keep our soils fertile for future generations. So what the F are we doing not treating people who say that they're commercial, but are actually poisoning our environment, and we give them an establishment respect they should not have? This is the fault of capitalism. I'm a capitalist, and the problem we have is that too many people are cozily in an establishment and don't criticize. It should be treason. It should be ecocide. It should be a sentence of many, many years in prison if you poison the commons. I'm absolutely serious, and it's really easy to do. So that's my rant, because these programs...
Definitely a rant, no question there, and I expect nothing less from you. But so, question, Tim. So we give all these leaders facts, and certainly lots of people brief them, and I hope tomorrow you can give them a bit of a reality check when they visit with you. But what is it that you expect from the G7 leaders, and really importantly, how do they find courage, and how have you found courage? So what have you learned in your life while you've made changes? And if you can give that to us in a soundbite, we'd love it.
Courage, saying what's in your heart, even if it embarrasses you in advance, the moment you've said it, you've got your retaliation in first. And strangely, it doesn't feel nearly as scary as it did in anticipation. What I would say to the global leaders is, imagine 200 years from now, you are being judged on what you did. And it ain't going to look pretty, is it? It's not going to look pretty. And I can tell you that if they listened to us, we could have a life on planet Earth where we're happy, we have plenty. This isn't about hair shirts and being a hippie. It's not about going without. We've got to look at this as being the start of a brand new green enlightenment. We at Eden, as you know, Gail, we spent 10 years raising the money to drive a shaft down 4.7 kilometers. It started last week. We're down 1,000 meters already. It is the Holy Grail. it is the base load, which means that globally we can actually create sustainable renewable energy. And the powers that be in fossil fuels say, oh, it's okay if you're just going down to 5 kilometers. What they don't tell you is that when they go bust, the drilling machinery will halve in price, which means you can go a lot deeper for a lot less money, which means that whether you're in London or Aberdeen or Birmingham or Manchester or Liverpool, you can have as much heat and power as you need. Every school child in the world, if you point to the floor and you say, go down as deep as you can, you know your Jules Verne, it's 6,000 degrees. It's as hot as the surface of the sun in the middle of the earth. What kind of mad people don't mind that? I mean, it's just mad, isn't it?
It is. It is, but I think that your message is convincing. I know you can show it to them when they come on site, and I hope you do. And I wish you all the luck. And yeah, Godspeed with that. Thank you so much, Tim.
It's a real pleasure and it's lovely to be invited. Thank you.